So Victor, did the shit? I keep waiting for you to go woo woo. Okay.
We, the people, who are dedicated to protecting the common good, do hereby charge you with trespassing, theft, violence, assault, illegal possession of firearms, and a really crappy attitude. You are therefore sentenced to life imprisonment in the DL Correctional Facility on the moon.
Parental discretion is advised.
At last I've met my penile master.
TheHardCast.
It's time for another whacktastically off-the-wall episode of TheHardCast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by Victor.
The man whose pain is so mere.
And Patrick. Tonight's review/discussion is about the 2004 Japanese action sci-fi anime Dead Leaves, directed by Hiroyuki Imaishi, and produced by Production IG. Retro and Pandy, two renegade mutants, awaken naked on Earth with amnesia and soon go on an extremely violent crime spree. They are eventually captured by the authorities and sent to a high-security prison moonbase, where they once again go on a murderous rampage. So, Victor, did Dead Leaves leave you envious of the raw power and combat prowess the mutants possess? Or did you end up a victim of prison rapage at the hands of Chinko and his almighty drill dick?
Well, yeah. Woo. This movie is definitely rapage of the eyes, because this is us once again bringing you one of the fucking craziest shit you've ever seen. I remember Chris, you showed me this a long time, and I did not know what to think of it.
Well, we've seen it 4 times. I still don't know what to think of it. It's too psychological, you know.
Yes, psychological. That's one of the genres. This anime starts out with Pandy and Retro. They wake up naked in the middle of nowhere. They're right next to a city.
Yeah, on the outskirts of the city, basically.
Retro's character, he has a TV for a head, or one of those retro TV, which is why she calls him Retro.
And that retro TV on your head makes you look like an asshole.
Actually, they make reference, on other reviews anyway, that the only other character that has a similar type head is in FLCL, Fully Cooley.
Oh, yeah.
That was also done by Production IG, and it has a similar kind of Looney Tunes off-the-wall style. But this is a more violent, vulgar version of FLCL.
Pandy's character, she has got a spot around her eye.
That thing around your eye makes you look like a panda bear.
Which is where the name Pandy comes from, because
she looks like a panda.
Right. So then they wake up naked. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They got amnesia.
Who the hell are you?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
They're hungry too, so they go to the city, they get some clothes, and they go on a rampage. Right from the start, you can see how fucking over-the-top crazy this shit is. The animation is very exaggerated, very loose.
It starts with a bang.
Definitely.
And I was mentioning this to you and Patrick, that the colors are all over the place, but they're very muted. So they kind of remind me of the old school Marvel comics from the late 80s, early 90s. It's so muted, the colors and everything. But that's just the style. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Ren and Stimpy a little bit, as far as just the vibe.
The movements of the characters, the way they move and they exaggerate everything.
Yeah, especially if it's of a sexual nature.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Patrick, about, our introduction to the characters?
It was definitely crazy. One of the craziest beginnings you will probably ever see in your life. The action is beyond imagination. It's basically
beyond imagination.
beyond whatever. And it's just bullets everywhere. Bullets, and like you were saying, it was a revolver, and it's like a million bullets. One revolver, and a million bullets came out of it. So
yeah. Well, it's funny because he's aiming straight, boom, 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 and then you see the shots are going everywhere. And then he's going boom, 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 and the shots are going everywhere. So it's
just a spread shot pistol.
Exactly.
And when you think, oh my god, it's like, oh, they're getting chased by the police. Da, da, da. You think, oh, okay. And all of a sudden, a giant mech comes out of nowhere, and it's just like, what the fuck? And then that's when the Pandy jumps in and kicks the shit out of it. And you're
literally is kicking a metal mech with her legs. It's getting fucked up.
She punches it first and then she kicks it.
In the beginning, they set it up where you got mutants, which is Pandy and Retro, which are these crazy powerful characters. And then you got regular people who are these fake-ass sheep, automaton, lemmings.
Yeah, they all look like clones of each other.
And they have no emotion, no characteristics. They all look the same, and they all act the same.
Even the explosion of the mech was huge, just gargantuan. People just dying everywhere. And it's funny, they get caught by the police somehow. I don't know exactly.
They crash and then they're surrounded by a million cops.
Conveniently, because the story has to continue. It's only a 55-minute anime, so they got to move that shit along.
Yeah, but then they're reading their crimes, weapons possession, and all this weird stuff. And
the funniest one was they're charged with having a really crappy attitude.
Where's the murder parts? I know. And they blew up all those people. And then they send them to the moon, which is called
Dead Leaves.
Dead Leaves, yeah. I forgot.
Wow, the name of the anime.
The moon is all fucked up. You can see there's big chunks of it are missing. I'm pretty sure they did that.
Yeah, 8 years ago, probably.
Yeah, when they were first there.
They get locked away. They get strapped into this, I guess it's like a straitjacket type of thing.
They resemble worms. You just see their heads popping out, and they're basically carried everywhere on these kind of conveyor belt types things. You know, when it's time to eat, they get pulled into the room, and they get stuck with a fucking socket cord or whatever. I don't even know, it's like a plug.
It's a socket cord.
Yeah.
They got like a hole for their, plugged up to their butt. So they have a hole for their hole, and then they got like a vacuum cleaner thing that sucks the poop out of them. Which brings us to one of the other characters, that they have to go eat. So they eat, and of course, after you eat, you gotta take a crap.
Wait, I don't really want to right now.
Don't worry, you will.
So they take a crap.
By the way they eat is they stick the tubes into their mouth and they just pump their food into their mouths.
It looks really funny.
All the robots get, of course, power, and all the humanoids get, food, and then they have to go take a crap, which is really weird because I don't understand how the robots can shit if they don't eat any food.
Introduced to 666 and 777, which are kind of like the mutant guards in the prison.
Well, they're all mutants, really.
They kind of differentiate them. They said that you're a clone, but if you have the mutant gene, then you're super all-powerful. But if you're just a clone, then you're like a screw-up. And then you're just used as slave labor, kind of.
Right. Basically show 666 and 777 in their security room, watching everybody in all the cameras.
And you see 666 loves chewing on his cigarettes.
Yep. He doesn't even smoke it, he just chews on it.
Tobacco chomper.
I guess no one told them they make chewing tobacco. Continue with the tubes, Patrick.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of them gets backed up because one of them can't stop shitting. Two is all backed up. You won't stop shitting or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah, that shit was pretty funny.
You crap too much! Your tube is totally backed up!
And then he says, your sentence is death. The guy takes his finger and just flicks him in the head. And that's it. His face gets totally crushed. He takes all the guys behind him out. And they go slam into the wall and they're all basically dead. And that pretty much begins the whole 666 and Retro.
Actually, 666 knows Retro from 8 years ago. But the thing is, Retro doesn't have his memory back, so he doesn't really know 666.
666 the tall guy or the fat guy?
666 is the skinny dude with the blade arms, and then 777 is the bigger dude. I think that's when they all get sent back to the cells, yeah. And then we get the amazing lovemaking scene.
For some reason, they put Pandy and Retro in the same cell.
And as far as I can tell, Pandy is the only female.
A lot of the prisoners are fucking ugly, so you have no idea. Unless you're talking about the one with the fake tits or whatever. So they go back to the cell. Of course, he's going all over the room. It's kind of funny how he's like going around the room.
Yeah, basically just showing how bored he is.
Until finally he's like, a little horny. Of course, she's like, how the hell are we going to do this? There's only one hole and it's in the back. And he's like, there's a way. I guess where there's a will, there's a way. Figures out how to snake himself.
Whatever, he says, have you ever made it with a worm?
Hey, baby, so, ever made it with a worm?
And then he figures it out, and of course he misses and gets her in the wrong hole.
Wrong hole! Oops, sorry about that.
And then he finally finds the right hole. And everybody's listening. It's so funny. All the reactions, everybody's listening.
When they got don't they have like that crazy opera music?
Yeah.
It's funny. That's also when Chinko starts raping his cellmates. It is a prison, so they have to have the gay prisoner.
Right.
Okay, so once they're done, they're feeling all good. I guess they get their powers back or whatever. I don't know what it does. It relaxes them enough. They get out of their suits and out of their cell.
They know they're close to their restraints, so they're able to take them off.
Then they release everyone else, too.
So I want to take a second to talk about character designs. What do you guys think about like all the different characters?
Well, like I said before, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Invader Zim mixed with Ren and Stimpy, but all kind of really harsh and jagged and hard-edged. I think that they did a lot of that stuff on purpose, like making the characters very simple looking, but very different from each other.
All their features are exaggerated.
Yeah.
To an extreme.
They kept them simple because I think they wanted to put the budget towards the insane amount of action they have to choreograph. It might not look as cool if you were just to see like screenshots or something, but if you see it in action, that's when you really get the full effect.
And I think it's also funnier when you have these cartoony characters with exaggerated faces, and they get like...
Yeah, it goes with the story better. Got that Looney Tunes sensibility.
And it's cool how like every time one of the characters dies, you see another even weirder character, and the designs just keep getting
there's
crazier
so
and crazier.
many prisoners. There's no shortage of cannon fodder in this movie.
Yes.
When they kill 100, there's 100 more behind them, and the next 100 are even crazier than the first.